Hello, I'm Ken Childs. Thanks for joining me. I want to share with you my week-long Joe Dispenza retreat at Niagara Falls, New York. Just happened, just got back, and I really couldn't wait to do this video. So, what happened there is something I have to share. It's just so mind-blowing, crazy, awesome. And a little bit of history about me first, because you might understand the context of where I'm coming from. So in my own personal experience, I've done a lot of self-discovery, inward work, looking for answers, looking to ease my suffering, looking to be more in touch with myself, to open my heart, to find self-love and worthiness, and I think that's a common thread a lot of people feel. So I felt unworthiness, and I lacked self-love, and I lacked wholeness, and I was struggling with the ideas of oneness. And I've gone through a lot of things. I've went guru shopping in the Himalayas, I've gone to Thailand, I've gone to India, I've gone to Bali, Nepal. I've lived in ashrams, lived in monasteries, I've studied with monks, studied with swamis. Oh my God, I've gone to ashrams in the States, in Canada. I've taken meditation courses, tantra courses. I've studied one-on-one with Buddhist monks and swamis. I've done ayahuasca, lots of it. I've done TMT. I've done LSD, I have done psilocybin. Maybe that covers most of everything. And all of these things has been it's the self-discovery, and I don't regret any of it. It's been awesome. I've read tons and tons of books, done tons of courses, studied in university even, mindfulness and meditation. And everything has given me little bits and bits and bits of information. I've stitched together or put together a puzzle of all this information, and kind of created my own path. And so that's what I've been following, and it's been great. And it's taken a ton of work, a ton of money, a ton of time. And I went away for 1 week, and I got downloaded more information in that 1 week than I did in all my travels and places, because it made so much sense, and it made it just like from go to point A to point B so incredibly simple and amazingly, intoxicatingly, incredibly rich. And it's given me, it's given me everything I've been looking for, and finding a way, a formula, a practice to go forward in the rest of my life. Now, what basically that Joe Dispenza does is he takes the ancient teachings, process philosophies of what we've all been following as in meditation, and he's taken that art form of meditation and he's broken it down. He's put science behind it, and through his research in science and brain activity and coherence and energy and vibration, has found the simplest, easiest path from point A to point B. So let's talk about that for a second. Point A is where we all live, in the physical world, and everything is 3D, three-dimensional, and we live by sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. And that's how we get around, and we need those things, because we wouldn't get around. But in that realm of that vibration that we're at is where all our suffering comes. That's where the ego belongs. That's where hatred, anger, resentment, jealousy, and all those things that we suffer on this physical plane. This is what we go through. And it's all at that level, at that vibration. And so does corruption, and so does world greed, and all this stuff, and deforestation, and burning of the Amazon, and all this stuff, and arson of the Amazon, and all this stuff. It's on that level that we suffer, and we can't get the wholeness and the oneness of life and the divinity that actually exists out there. We don't tap into it, and that's why when we're so far from source, we don't identify with it. We feel separate, and when we feel separate, we have no cognition, no connection to each other and to nature and to everything else. So that's why we treat it the way that we treat it, and we've been always treating it that way, and destroying it and screwing ourselves up and being our own problems and creating our own problems from that source. And what we do is we do actually create our own disease. We create our own happiness, we create our own arguments with the loved ones that we have. We create everything in our world, we create. And when we're creating it from that level of 3D, that three-dimensional world where all the senses exist, this is where we suffer. So the thing with meditation and, you know, the teachings of the Buddha and the teachings of Hinduism and, you know, basically everything that I have learned is about getting out of that realm and getting up to the fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is the higher frequency, a higher vibration. And the higher vibration is when that you are in a place of nothingness, nowhere, there's no time, there's nothing that exists. And that's the point when you try to focus your meditation, you're trying to get to that place. And that's where all potential, that's where everything starts opening up and everything exists. And you can manifest from that space. And when you're in that space, you can create anything you want in this world, because you're no longer at that vibration. So you can create good health, you can create wealth, you can create emotional attachments and relationships. Attachments, I don't mean it in that way, but connections with people, and improve your life and find that happiness and that sense of source and happiness and oneness with this world. And so what Joe does is he takes you in a very like laser focused direction through everything to that one pointedness, to that fifth dimension. And he teaches you how to get there. And it's a ton of meditation, and it's all guided, and it's all these practices, and there's breath work involved, and there's just science backing up everything, including, you know, statistics and charts and studies, and it's undeniable. So basically that's it. It's not like you got to believe in it. No, it's factual. It actually exists. It's there. This is science-proven information that if you meditate in a certain way, on focusing in a certain way and pushing your energies up your energy centers, these are the results. So it's not like guesswork. Oh, if I do this, then maybe this is going to happen. No, you follow it and you'll get there. And that's it. And he teaches you how to get there. So people were having profound experiences, and I've met so many. There was 1,650 people at this event. It was his biggest yet. I don't know how big these events are going to get, but I know that I'm going to the next one, because I have dipped myself in the water. I have connected to divinity. While I was in the meditation, I dissolved. I got to the fifth dimension, and I already put in place for the future to show up, the future me. And this is a beautiful concept. So incredible. You know, that you actually, I don't want to give stuff away, but I tell you, you know, I see where I'm going. There's no guesswork anymore. There's no, hey, let's try this now, let's try that, let's do this modality, let's try this plant medicine, let's do this, let's try that. It's none of that. Let's read this book, you know, maybe that'll do. You don't have to. I'm just saying it. You really can get, it's like beyond the Coles Notes. It is laser sharp. It is like scalpel sharp, right to the point, how to get there. And then when you get there, it's how to build your life after and put things in place. And that's all up to you, because you can build anything you want. It's undeniable. we're all in charge. We're so powerful. We've got only to use the smallest potential of ourselves. And I've been understanding this over the years. I just haven't been able to put it all together because I'm building a puzzle from all my different experiences. And this experience just put everything else to bed. You know, it's I don't know, the comparison is too hard to make, you know, from one thing to another. Like ayahuasca as an example. I will do ayahuasca again because it's a good, you know, it's a good way of immediately tapping into the mystical and playing around in that space, and it's very, very useful. But you don't have to do it. You can have it as an option, but doing Joe Dispenza's work and taking his workshop will give you a basket full of fruit, and you'll have the tools that'll take you for the rest of your lifetime. Ayahuasca, what happens is you have that experience, and then you got to piece together, reformat your life after that, and you'll get answers and downloads, but it's still on a, it's not like a science-based thing where you can, you know, go back and look at the research and see that's proven, and you're still left with trying to solve your own problems. And I'm not saying Joe Dispenza solves your problems, but in his formula, it's very clear what your problems are, and the method and technology and information that's there of relieving those problems and not running into those again, because you're not running at a higher vibration. And your higher vibration, your higher self, is where all magic and all beauty and all life really exists. So I don't know what else I can say about it. I could talk about it for hours. I don't want to be, you know, like some guy who comes off as like, you know, born again. But I can say I'm high as a kite from this. And this morning I sat for 2 hours of meditation, and I came to the end of my meditation song, or, you know, vibration, the music that I listened to, and I was like I thought something was wrong with my phone, that something bleeped out on it or something, but I looked and the timer went off. It was 2 hours. And then I went for a walking meditation for an hour and a half, and the path is behind me where I've been walking this morning, and I'm sleeping on 5 hours sleep, and I feel incredible. And the reason is because I'm full of energy. I've got energy because I'm tapping into the divine, and the divine is where source is. This is where life comes from. And so I'm not playing in the mud anymore of my emotions. I am now gone beyond that, and I am now tapping into source and living from that. And it's just going to keep getting better. Like, it's incredible. So it's not like, you know, this is the first time I've gone to church, if you want to call it that, or as Joe calls it, a monastery. I've been through a lot. I've read a ton. I have experienced a ton. I've climbed the Himalayas, part of the Himalayas, with a Buddhist, and went deep into the energies there and everything. I've done so much stuff, so I'm not like a beginner just saying, hey, look what I found. I'm telling you, this blows me away. It blows me away. I love the guy. I love that guy. And it is the most well-organized event. I've done Tony Robbins events, and they're nowhere near as organized and as beautiful and as meaningful and as empowering as Joe Dispenza's event. I honestly can say that it is by far the most professional thing I've ever experienced. So, in a nutshell, like this video, follow me, spread the word, sign up for Joe Dispenza, go online, look at other videos, the videos that he's done, what he's talking about, It's about, you know, we all live in the past, and it's time to move out of that and live in the future selves, and become that. Become that person that you know you have it in you to be, and it's divinely guided by Source. We have a higher version of ourselves out there, and you just got to be that. And he shows you the way, teaches you the way. You have lifelong skills and tools from that experience by doing a week long with him. So highly, highly, highly recommend it. Anyway, love you all. Thank you so much. And just do it. Go for it. You'll be happy. Really happy. Thank you.